Hi guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am back with another month of Stash Bash. And so this is a series where a bunch of us YouTubers all get together and choose some items from our stash that we want to get used up and made into layouts. And so part of that is that we have this huge video hop that happens on the 20th of every month. And so you will be able to click in the links down below to check out the rest of the ladies as well. But our theme for this month was a manufacturer or company that is no longer in business. And so that was kind of our goal, was to find some of our older stash or some things from a company that is no longer in business. And so I have chosen this playlist collection, and this is from KI Memories. And so I believe this collection was from like 2013 maybe. But I used to love this company because they had kind of different little elements and kind of unique little finishing touches. And so I really love their products. And I am excited because they are coming back. The people who were the owners of KI Memories are coming back with a new company called Pattern Happy. And it looks wonderful from what I've seen so far. So I'm really excited to kind of see what kinds of things that new company is going to have to offer for us. So what I have decided to do today is work with this particular collection, and I'm using the stencil from Studio Calico. And so I have a white cardstock background that I backed with just a piece of diagonal black and white stripe paper, and it's just a really thin, flimsy old piece that I think I picked up at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, somewhere where I don't typically buy pattern paper because it's not thick or my favorite. So I'm just using a tiny border of that around the outside of the page. And then I'm taking my stencil from Studio Calico and I'm going to go ahead and trace around a bunch of these different pattern papers. And I'm doing that because I'm basically going to use this as a template to create my own background. And so with this particular collection, I have just a few little pieces of ephemera that I wanted to include or that I had left over. And then I had the sticker sheets and the 6x6 paper pad, and then I had part of this 12x12 paper pack left. So I'm just using up what I have. So I haven't really gone to my stash at this point for other things. I'm just working with those pieces that I have of this particular collection. And I will go ahead and later in the process, I do go back to my stash for a few other things that I felt like I needed. But for right now, I'm just working with what I have. And so this template or this stencil is eventually going to go away. So what I am doing is I'm just tracing each section in that template onto the pattern papers, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out each little section. And I'm going to use that template as a guide for where all of my pieces go. So off screen, I went ahead and finished cutting all of those out. And then I have my template laid down over my background still. So you can kind of see that in the pictures. And then I'm taking it just one section at a time and gluing the pattern paper to the white cardstock background. So this is a really quick and easy way to get this look that I am going for while not having to do any like measuring or tracing or figuring out where exactly every little piece needs to go. I can just use that stencil to do all the work for me because they have already made this perfect little sunburst here. And so I can just use what they have already done. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull that stencil off as soon as I get all of these pieces glued down. And I'm going to be left with just the background. So this is also a way that if you don't have a like a cutting machine, like a Silhouette or anything to make cut files, this kind of technique gives you the look of a cut file without actually having to cut anything or have a cutting machine to make your own cut file. Because a look like this is something usually you would see created by taking a cut file of this sunburst pattern and then backing it with all of these pattern papers. So I'm kind of doing that in reverse. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a black, like a little bit thicker pen, and I'm going to outline each one of those sections with black to give it a little more definition. And then I've grabbed this photo of my son, and I've printed it in black and white in the 4x4 size. And it's just a picture of him. He's got his iPad in his lap. He's sitting in his beanbag chair. He's got his big old huge headphones that he loves because they're Chicago Cubs. And so it's just a picture of him and kind of where he is right now as far as he loves technology and he's really into his iPad and He is constantly watching YouTube videos, and most of the time he's watching YouTube videos of like old baseball games or old World Series games and championships and that kind of thing. So this is going to kind of talk about the role technology plays for my kids. And so I know that I want my photo to be in the center of that kind of starburst or sunburst. And I know that I want to get these 3 acrylic stars on here somewhere because they've been in my stash forever and ever. And I think they actually are from KI Memories. I'm going to go ahead and take these letter tiles, and they are a little bit see-through. And so I'm going to put them on the white cardstock portion in between those kind of rays of the sunburst. And I'm just going to spell out Tech Life. And so I'm trying to kind of vary the colors with all the different patterns that I have going on so that it's a really bright and fun part of my title. I want my entire title to be It's a Rough Tech Life. So I am going to go back, and this is where I go into my stash, and I grab some puffy stickers that are from Freckled Fawn, and I'm going to go ahead and add those back here in a minute. So I also pulled out this little dish, and these are from Queen & Company, if you are familiar with them. They don't do as much in the scrapbooking world anymore. The majority of what they do now is kind of in the card making sector, it seems. But they have some really adorable stuff, and they came out with this line of little embellishments that were all in these containers that looked like makeup containers. Do you guys remember those? Like little nail polish bottles and that type of thing. So these have been in my stash for quite a while. Leave me a comment down below if you have any of those little containers and you know what I'm talking about hanging out in your stash. So I did get a bunch of the little stars out of there, and they're going to make it onto this layout. So even though K & Company is still a company that is in business, these are something that's been in my stash for a really long time, so I was still excited to get them onto a page. And now I'm going to go ahead and grab these 2, well, I have one right now, and I am going to grab another one, these little orange banners. And these were on the cut apart sheet from the paper pack. And so this one just says, this one's my favorite, and I'm going to run that right along underneath my title. And then I'm kind of grouping those little metal stars as well as my acrylic stars on both sides of my photo. So I'm playing up on that diagonal element that is naturally going on with my pattern paper in the background. And that's where you're going to see me add another one of these little orange phrases. And the second one just says live out loud. And I try it on top of my photo, and I move it around a lot, and I put it on this diagonal, and then I try it on the next diagonal. And it moves around quite a bit. And what I decide is that I want that orange to kind of be a continuous banner across both sides of my photo. So where it ends up going is in this spot down here to where it can kind of line up with the other one enough to look like it is kind of meant to be there, like it was strategically placed behind my photo. And so it probably isn't perfect, and I'm okay with that. But then I'm going to go ahead and cluster the little star embellishments and things right around that. And then off screen, I went ahead and added some little star sequins from Felicity Jane, as well as the rest of that title using those puffy stickers from Freckled Fawn and a little bit of journaling, and that's going to do it for this layout. So definitely I encourage you today to check out all the rest of the videos in the hop, but also to dig in your stash and find some goodies from a manufacturer that no longer exists and get creating. We'll see you again soon.